So let's start the demo meeting. Our product owner, Mark, today is on PTO, so he is not able to join the meeting today. So let's start without him, and we will share the video recording to him afterwards. So let me share let me share my screen, and I will share the update with you. So actually, during the whole this week, we were working on a regression of the project. So we just let me describe our release process of the MSI. We already had several questions regarding that in the MSI Slack channel, and I'll describe it now. So how we're going to proceed further. So recently we'll build the Burndown Report, and we actualized it yesterday. So we closed all the issues which we already delivered, and we moved to the milestone to the issues and stories which we are not going to release in the scope of the minimal viable product. So you see currently that we are probably on the ideal trajectory, ideal line for the release, which is supposed to be done in the middle of June. So currently we're expecting to make a release on June 18 or maybe 20. And this is how we're going. And actually, when we release the project, so in the end of June, you know that Magento 2.3 is still not released yet. So we will work on the product backlog for the next product iteration. We will, of course, ping you as a community. We will provide you possibility for voting, because we already have some features, some feature proposal, like make support of bundle and group product to be operated on a multi-source environment. Also to provide the possibility of this store pickup. Also to extend the functionality of the drop shipping. And there are a lot of different features which we would like to work more closely. For example, some of you, I know, that would like to provide more functionality and more extension for the B2B. So to make more feature-full integration MSI and the B2B. So this also could be extension point. So we will provide the list of the feature. We'll provide you a possibility for voting for this feature, and after that we will choose a pretty strict and short product iteration, like from 4 to 6 weeks, and we will iteratively make this iteration. And after each of this iteration, we will provide new beta version of MSI. So at the end of June, we will release the beta 1. And let's say in the middle of August, we will release second beta, which will have all the feature set which we'll have in the MVP, plus new additional feature, which would be included in the next iteration. And we will do that so on and so on, iterating and adding new value, adding new functionality to the MSI until Magento 2.3 would be released. And when the Magento 2.3 would be released, we will take the latest beta version, which is ready to be released of MSI, and that version of MSI would be released as a JA along with Magento 2.3. So this actually make us to have own release plan of MSI, and not to be highly coupled on a Magento release strategy. And we can go like following the feature-driven development, always iterating and releasing new functionality of MSI. So this is at least our current plan, and now we are stabilizing the work of the MVP version, and we are going to release it in June 18. So regarding the status of our regression, so as I already mentioned, during this week we were mostly making regression, so we don't have a lot of new functionality to show. And among of the 310 use cases we have documented in a heap test, we've tested 220, and currently we have a fail. So if you'll go to the overview, so we have currently 200 test cases passed, 17 failed. So most of them, so currently I wouldn't say that we have something really critical here. So for example, issues with back orders, actually mostly about back order label, like verify message here. So it's not a big issue, but actually this is a labeling issue, and because of that we have quite a lot of test cases which is failed currently. Also we have some issue with the cache invalidation and some issue with the low stock notification. Also at the beginning of the regression we stuck with the problem of configurable product. And quote, so the putting configurable product variation into the shopping cart and making a checkout with a configurable product. That's why actually at the beginning of week I created several integration tests and asked guys from the community to cover this functionality with additional integration tests. And actually because we had a gap in this integration test coverage for configurable product and actually place an order with configurable product, we got this blocker in the regression. So now we already been provided several pull requests with configurable product test coverage. So I believe we would not experience this issue anymore. So actually, this is currently our status. So we still need to run 25% of the test scenarios to finish the regression, and I believe that would be Tuesday and maybe Wednesday, because the Monday is a national holiday in Ukraine. It's a Holy Trinity Day. So I believe that in the middle of the next week we will finish all the regression and start fixing bugs. So start fixing these failed scenarios, and afterwards we will run another cycle of the regression to make the stabilization, to stabilize all the products, and to fix it. So after that we will make all the test cases which we run on MSI to be mandatory for the core development of Magento 2.3 to make sure that Magento 2.3 development don't affect MSI and would not break MSI with the changes on Magento 2.3 core changes. So regarding the functionality, so I will show you. I already mentioned that we didn't have a lot of time to work on a new functionality, but actually I have something to show you. So probably, as you know, our main idea of MSI is to provide fully backward compatible software for those who made an upgrade from 2.2 or 2.1 to Magento 2.3 with MSI on board. So to make it possible, actually we make MSI disabled for all the Magento upgrade version, and we make MSI enabled for those who make a fresh installation of Magento. I did not have a time to prepare the more attractive and interactive presentation, but actually what I did, I prepared a logs of Magento, which was installed via Composer installation, and here you see the Composer install with MSI. And here, let's look for inventory modules. So here we introduce the Magento Inventory Composer installer, and this is actually the package which is in charge to check whether this is a fresh installation or whether this is upgrade of early version of Magento to the Magento 2.3. And you see that the installer is installed about all other Magento modules. And now you see that like after that, Magento, all the inventory modules, currently we have 32 modules as a part of the bundle package of MSI. And you see that all the modules like recognized as a part of the multi-source inventory implementation, and no special rules applied for Magento inventory. So all of these modules are installed successfully. And you see this actually, that's all. But if we are making an upgrade of 2.0, 2.1 or 2.2 version of Magento to Magento with MSI on board, to Magento 2.3 with MSI on board, inventory. So you see here the same Composer installer, and after that, when we come to inventory modules, you see that all the inventory modules are beyond disabled. So you see that this Composer installer just disable all the inventory modules.
So and not disabled, do you mean what? Disabling in Magento or?
Disabling in Composer. So we are not installing them.
Okay. So you just skip the modules or
yep.
what?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So actually that was an idea, and this solution applicable just for Composer installation, because we consider that GitHub installation mostly used for developers, and developers if they want, they can just not install some particular modules. So it shouldn't be. Yes.
And what happens if a third-party module depends on one of the inventory packages?
So in this case, like in this case, that actually would be decision of merchant whether the MSI should be installed or not. So here we just want to prevent a situation when MSI is installed for those merchants which already have some particular customization on top of the catalog inventory. And this customization could be potentially broken because MSI, for example, if this customization happens on the level of the database, if this customization happens on the level of the catalog inventory stock item or catalog inventory stock status tables, because here we lose pluginization, here we lose extension points, and MSI not tracking this data. And as we know, most of the inventory customization happens on the level of database interaction because of, first of all, because of the performance aspects. That's why actually we just disable these modules for upgrade. But if a merchant would like to do it, he can just switch all these modules as on.
Okay, so how the workflow will look like then? So he upgrades, all the modules are disabled, though I'm not sure I know what means disabled by Composer. So what does it mean? Is it, I thought it's just skipped and not installed, or is it different? I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is skipped and not installed.
Okay, so then if merchant wants to install, he specifically should require it in the Composer, and then they will be installed, or what happens?
Sorry, Olga, could you please repeat it?
So if the merchant still wants inventory modules, so where he should enable them?
It should be enabled in the scope of
Again, yeah, I'm looking at names of the modules. So is it just the config.php where the list of, so it's Magento specific enabling disabling, not
yes.
package specific. Okay, yeah, I'm confused. Okay, so then they just enable it and they can use the functionality, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Is there any other questions?
Guys, you're on mute.
Yeah. So probably that's all from our side regarding the demo. If there is no any other question, probably we can finish the demo. But regarding the question Olga raised, so we are actually not disabling them in Magento. So actually the main idea was to disable the module on the level of Composer. And the decision whether, so to be frankly, we didn't consider the case that how to configure the inventory modules should be presented for the upgrade phase, but I believe that could be done via the modification of the inventory composer package. But I can't right now answer precisely how that could happen, because Vladimir Kublitsky was working on that functionality. So, and I need to look into the details of that package.
Okay, I think then if you, so I see two ways how you can disable. First one is just to skip a package, Composer package.
So we can like altogether skip the inventory composer so we can altogether, and I believe that will work. Skip.
Yes, I'm just not. I don't think I really understand how exactly what exactly means disabling here, because.
So actually, that means that we are not installing Composer package at all.
Yeah, but then I think the message that is written there is a little
bit
confusing.
A bit confusing. Agree.
Because it mentions Magento module name, not the package name. So I would say that maybe not installing package would be more clear.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So actually, like answering your question, Because like I'm pretty I did not have an ability to make a code review of this functionality, but I'm pretty sure that just keeping this composer package will give you an ability to install all the packages and all the packages which are dependent on inventory packages. So it should fix the issue. Regarding the message, you are correct that message currently referring to Magento modules but not composer packages. So the messages should be corrected.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know, I would be interested into looking how it's implemented. So I still have a few questions how it works. So maybe if you have a link to a pull request or something, can you send it to me?
Now Valery will share the link in chat to repo. It's a public one, so yeah, it's a prototype. So you can.
I think you use Magento. Yeah, you disable a module, so then the message is correct because it says that you can enable them by using Magento module enable command. I mean.
Yeah.
So then I guess the message is correct, and most likely I think I understand how the customer can enable all the modules. Yeah. I just don't know if there will be a situation when somebody upgrades to 2.3 and already also, like together with Magento, also installs a third-party module.
Yeah, it could be a situation because, for example, some of the, for example, Amnesty currently working on providing new source selection algorithm, and they're going to provide them as a set of new modules, and this set of new modules would be on top of the MSI. So their modules would be an extension of the MSI, and taking into account that, for example, if you will see the MSI Slack channel, for example, today we had a chat with the guys who would like to start working on MSI, and many agencies and the CIs already start using MSI with Magento 2.3. So potentially we can have a situation when it's going to be Magento 2.3. So the new project would be started with Magento 2.3 in the alpha version plus MSI plus modules created by, for example, Amnesty or other extension provider. And yeah.
Maybe you can add a test case for this scenario, so you validate it.
Actually, regarding the test case, on a regression of Magento 2.3, there would be all the cases, all the test cases which exist in for Magento 2.3 supposed to be done in the two scenarios, with MSI and without MSI. So.
Yeah, and I think it would be good then to add just one test case for the situation when we are upgrading to Magento 2.3 with MSI and with a third-party extension that depends on MSI.
Yes,
just a great scenario, not like testing everything.
Yeah, this is good proposal. I believe we will add it as additional heap test scenario. So we will just create a dummy module, and we'll test the upgrade functionality.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't have an ability to look through this repository. I just got an update like 20 minutes before the demo. So I've seen that we are just disabling modulus. Actually, I thought that we will be skipping on the level of composer.
I
Okay.
think from composer it might be a little bit complicated. I'm not sure how exactly it should work.
Yes.
Because like MSI modules will be part of a Magento product and meta package, product meta package. I don't know how you can skip anything from there.
I thought that, I don't know for sure how, but I thought that if we will create like a dedicated package like composer installer and make all our inventory modules to be dependent on this one, and here we can make some manipulation on the level of metadata. I don't know. Just need to Google about that whether it's possible or not. But in any way, currently we have a solution which disable MSI, and maybe it's also appropriate. But actually, it will install. Maybe it's even better because we install MSI modules, and if a merchant will make a decision that MSI is good for him, and he can switch all that modules on afterwards.
Yeah, I think it should be fine. I don't know if there are any consequences of still having MSI code in the code base.
Anton, maybe you have your opinion.
I'm fell off discussion. Sorry. What's the question?
So we were talking about the upgrade of Magento 2.2 something to Magento 2.3 with MSI, and our initial idea was to disable MSI for upgrade scenarios and make MSI enabled for the fresh installation. And actually, here we were talking about what actually disabling means. Because currently we have disabling on the level of Magento modules. So we actually install modules, but afterwards we disable them. And if it would be potentially possible just not to install composer packages at all, would it be more preferable from your point of view, or we should go with module disabling?
I don't know. Depends. So it would be cleaner to not install them, but what's the practical problem?
Just to have some code in a code base which is not actually used. But from another point of view, for merchant, it could be easily to switch on modules if it's already installed, just to make it enabled and make all the functionality of MSI work pretty quickly.
So I don't have a strong opinion on that. Whatever is easier to know. Until we see practical problem, I don't think it makes sense to invest into that.
Okay, so based on your response, so we are pretty okay to have the module disabling, which we currently have now, and okay. So looks like current solution answer all the scenarios, and also it answers the case when we have the third-party module which is dependent on MSI, and
you need to check this scenario because I don't know how exactly you disable modules. So if you just use command line Magento CLI, then it will not allow you to disable MSI module if there is another module that depends on it. But I don't know if you bypass this validation or not. If you bypass it, it may cause problems. If you don't bypass it,
makes sense. Yeah, we'll prepare the scenario for this.
Cool.
Is there any other question? So looks like we good. And that's all for today's demo. So thank you guys for your time, and see you in a week. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.